How do you pursue someone in a healthy way? I think you're upfront with the person.
Yep.
I was kind of playing hard to get for the first month or
Yep.
so. And I felt the Lord speak to me one day. I was getting ready to take a shower and I felt like he said, do you like Aaron? And I was like, yes, Lord, you know I do. And he's like, but he doesn't know that. I had always been told my whole life, like, don't pursue a guy, don't text him, don't. And that was like with very good intent. So you can either be playing hard to get, but he actually told me in that moment that I was being a little manipulative. In the name of girls don't pursue guys, I think I turned it into, I'm going to play hard to get and I'm not going to tell him whether I like him or not. The Lord was like, you can either play hard to get and be manipulative, which I didn't want to do, or you can be yourself. So I sent Aaron a text that let him know that I liked him. And that changed everything for you.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Handlebar Podcast. This is our YouTube channel, and we're so glad you're here. And I wanted to tell you about two things before the episode starts. Number one, I just wrote a book, Big Jesus. This is out now everywhere that books are sold, and I want to invite you to go get that book, especially if you're a Gen Zer. Man, I wrote this book for you. My hopes is that as you read it, it will spark wonder and fascination in your heart for who Jesus is. He's really big Jesus. Go get the book. Number two, I wanted to let you know that we here at the Handlebar Podcast are completely listener funded. You may have noticed if you're listening to the podcast platform that there's no ads. Also, we haven't done a sponsor. We've just been completely listener funded. And I want to ask you, if this podcast has blessed you, that you would consider giving. You can give on our website, which will be in the description below. You can go over there. You can donate $5, $10, $100, whatever would be a blessing to you. It would definitely bless us, and it would help us continue to build the platform, put more things out. We love you. We're so glad you're here. Enjoy the episode, and don't forget to subscribe.
Welcome to the Handlebar Podcast.
Welcome back to Handlebar Sessions.
Woohoo.
You're
This
giggly.
is the first one we're doing together.
You're giggly.
I am. Alyssa puts me in a mood.
Well, here we are.
Here we
We've been
are.
married for 6 years.
Mhm.
Now we're doing our first handlebar session together, just the two of us.
Did you think we'd be here?
That's a loaded question.
Okay, let's get into the actual
Let's see what the
question.
actual question is. We're excited to be here. Thank you for tuning back in. Boaz is going to ask us a question. Can you come ask in the mic? Come.
What's up,
Tell us
guys?
the age. Tell us the question. Who's it submitted
My
by?
name's Boaz. I'm 23 years old.
Oh, the question's from you.
Yes.
Oh, it's not from the list. It's
So,
from
yeah,
you.
so
Ask
I'm
us.
just telling them where I'm from.
Okay.
Okay, I'm Boaz.
Yes.
23,
Yes.
and my question is, I'm engaged. My question is, how do you pursue someone in a healthy way? Oh, yeah.
How do you pursue
Okay.
someone in a healthy way? Put a timer for us. My phone died on that last episode.
10-minute timer.
10-minute timer starting now. How do you pursue someone in a healthy way? How did I pursue you? Did I do it in a healthy way?
Yes.
I don't remember other than
I mean, we had our moments.
I did ask you out in person.
Yes.
I was very upfront with my what I was
Well,
after.
upfront meaning you asked me to go to Chick-fil-A. So
Whoa.
that's like the most upfront you could be. Hey, can I
Yeah.
take you to Chick-fil-A?
But when I got you to Chick-fil-A,
I'm kidding.
I told you why I asked you to Chick-fil-A. Actually, it was
Yeah,
at the coffee shop.
Yeah, it was
We
a
went to
couple weeks
Chick-fil-A.
after.
We got to know each other.
Yeah.
And then I asked you to coffee. And when I
Yeah.
asked you to coffee, that's when I told you I
Mhm.
liked you. I wanted to pursue you. I think
But
those
you
were,
didn't tell me in the coffee shop.
I did. I told you in the car. As
he
we were
was,
leaving.
he was reversing the car,
nervous.
and I thought, why did we just come to coffee? Like, it's been 2 hours. He's bought like 4 coffees for himself, and I don't know.
I was
like-
nervous. I was scared.
And so we get in the car, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't know. Maybe we're dating. Maybe we're not.
And then
So
for me, I was
he-
like, my
he-
moment is slipping.
He reverses the car.
well, I
and
was backing
so-
out of the spot.
I know, but you put the car in reverse.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden, I go, boom, boom, because you threw it in park.
It was the moment.
And you said, I have to tell you
The
something.
confidence hit me.
And what did you tell me?
I said, I like you
Mm-hmm.
and I want to pursue you.
Yep. So
And
how do
you
you
said,
pursue
back up. And
Oh,
you
have
said to
tell
me,
that part?
you said, I admire you.
I had to leave you hanging a little bit.
What does that even? I
No.
admire you. I'm like,
No, I'm just
is that a
kidding.
yes? I can pursue you. Is that
Girls,
a no?
if
Is
you're
that
listening to this, don't do that. Like, reciprocate your feelings, whether you have them for the person
I was
or
having
you
this
don't.
adrenaline high in the moment. I just told her how
But
I
hey, it all
really
worked
feel.
out.
Cat's out of the bag.
We're about to go home
This
to our
is what
2
I'm
kids, so it all
after.
worked out.
That's true.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, how do you pursue someone in a healthy way? I think you're upfront with the person.
You're
like
upfront.
you were. And I would even say, I don't know if I have like a yes or no if girls can ask guys on dates. I think it's to each their own, and you're on your own journey with God. But I will say I was kind of playing hard to get for the first month or
Yep.
so. And I felt the Lord speak to me one day. I was getting ready to take a shower, and I felt like he said, "Do you like Aaron?" And I was like, "Yes, Lord, you know I do." And he's like, "But he doesn't know that."
Oof.
And I had always been told my whole life, like, don't pursue a guy, don't text him, don't. And that was like with very good intent.
So
And
this was after I had told you how I feel. We had been about a month in.
and I had
Yes.
not said anything back. And you were
Yeah,
starting to think
all you had
maybe
said to
this isn't
me
going to work.
was, I admire you.
Okay.
And then we had gone on a couple dates.
Yeah. So yeah, I was getting ready to get in the shower. The Lord was like, "Do you like him?" And I thought, what a funny question, Lord. And then he was like, "Well, Aaron doesn't know that. And you can either be playing hard to get," but he actually told me in that moment that I was being a little manipulative. Because I think that in the name
Yeah,
of,
you hadn't given me anything.
yeah, in the name of
Am I
like
doing
girls,
good here? Am I?
in the name of girls don't pursue guys, I think I turned it into I'm going to play hard to get, and I'm not going to tell him whether I like him or not, which if I had stayed there, who knows what would have happened.
I remember the night I was laying on my bed, I got a text from you that you had said that you liked me.
Right, because in the shower, I was like, okay, the Lord was like, you can either play hard to get and be manipulative, which I didn't want to do, or you can be yourself. And
You
so
could
I
be
thought,
yourself,
well, my
yeah.
whole life I've been told never to initiate anything. But in this moment, I'm going to initiate something. So I sent Aaron a text that let him know that I liked him. And that changed everything for you.
Yeah, I felt like you
were
were flirting with
questioning
me.
whether to keep pursuing me.
Yeah, I was. I
A
was
little bit.
thinking, like, what is happening here?
Because it really is like, it takes two. Like,
Takes two to tango.
well, yeah, okay. But it takes 2 people in the relationship to communicate, to reciprocate feelings, whatever. And so I feel like girls, if you're out there and you're like, I can't let him know that I like him, just go ahead and be yourself, whatever that looks like. And for me, I always thought I'm not supposed to text him first. I'm not supposed to. But once like I heard that from the Lord, it gave me the courage to be myself, which being
Yes.
myself, Sarahbeth is a very outgoing person. I like to initiate things. I'm very like, I think I thought I was too much, but in that moment, I was exactly what you needed.
I like when you're too much.
You heard it here, folks.
Okay, back to the question. How do I pursue well? So I asked you, let's backtrack. That hasn't happened yet. And I
Oh.
will speak for like the man's perspective. And everyone's different too, right? So it really requires you to lean into the Lord and to lean into mentors. And I leaned into both
Mhm.
when it came to you. So I asked you out. It was a Tuesday. I left a note on your car that said
Yep.
date 7 p.m. Tuesday night.
Mhm.
Question
You had
mark.
someone with like beautiful handwriting write it.
Yeah, all my handwriting is trash.
But I love your handwriting.
And so thank you. So I left that on the car for you. You said yes. I left that on a Sunday and I asked
Mhm.
you out on Tuesday. So on Monday, I texted a mentor of mine and I said, I asked her out. I'm taking her out tomorrow.
Mhm.
And he texted me back and he said, do you want to do it right? Which I thought was an interesting
Yeah,
question.
like, what do you
You're getting
mean?
interesting questions from the Lord and I was getting interesting questions from mentors.
Michael.
And he texted me and he said, do you want to do it right? And I said, well, of course I want to do it right.
Yeah, he's
And-
like the Lord at that moment.
And he texted me back.
Just
I
kidding.
kid you not, this is a true story. He doesn't respond with like an actual text.
Good, I'm glad.
All he texts me back is Sarahbeth's dad's contact.
Derek Duke.
Yes, Derek Duke. So I say, yes, of course I want to do it right. And then the next thing I get Derek Duke's contact.
And you're like,
And I'm like, oh no. And he texts me back and he goes, you know what to do with this. And I'm thinking,
gangster.
oh no. And I was at the gym. I was working out.
So you're like, I gotta lift a little heavier.
I did, yes. I was like, one more set and then I'm going
Not
to call
30s,
him. So
40s.
I do the set, whatever I was working out. I don't remember. But then I call him and it's maybe 8:30 at night.
My
Like
mom
it's
said it
late.
was 9 p.m.
Yeah, it was probably too late to call, but I felt the adrenaline. I was in the gym. And so I call him and he answers, and this is Derek Duke. And, sounds so
He goes,
manly
"Hello."
and deep and professional. And I'm like, hello.
I just lifted 40 pounds.
and I just begin to tell him, I want you to know who I am. This is where I got your number.
You were very upfront.
I was very upfront. I told him, I said, this is who I am. This is where I got your number. This is why I'm calling you. And I said, I just want you to know that I asked your daughter out on a date. She has said yes. And the plan is for us to go out tomorrow night. And I wanted you to know my intentions, and I wanted you to know that I'll be a gentleman, and I wanted you to know that I will protect her and I will keep her safe and I will respect her.
I think that's so key too, because I think a lot of guys think they have to be like, hi, my name is so-and-so. Can I please do this? Which puts a lot of pressure on the dad.
I didn't ask for permission. And part of the reason I didn't ask for permission was because I had already asked you out.
Yeah, you're like, oops.
You had already said yes. It was on the calendar.
Yeah.
So if I would have said...
But I think it was actually really freeing for my dad, because I think he thought, oh, this is a guy who knows what he wants, who I can trust my daughter with, and he's not playing games.
Yeah.
So I would say, do what Aaron did and let the dad know, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is my intentions, and I'm going to take care of her. And it went really well for you.
So pursuit, I will say this for men that are watching. I was upfront with Sarahbeth, and I was upfront with her dad, or her, I'll say it this way, her authority.
Right.
Because when you get married, you know, if you have your father, I want to be sensitive because not everybody has their dad in a relationship like you, but the dad gives, you know, at the altar, when you get married, the dad gives the daughter away.
Right.
And so I had to not only be upfront with you, I understand it in a way I didn't before, but I was upfront with you. You said yes, but I also needed to be upfront with the one who, I say authority, but the one who, you're covering. And he gave me the green light. Yes, take her out, respect her, all that stuff. And we had an awesome date.
5 months later.
5 months later, we got engaged.
Which was not fully my dad's idea, but you went to tell him that you wanted to propose to me soon. And he was like, what about next month? And
I told him I had the ring and I wanted to ask you to marry you.
So then it's like Aaron started out very confident with my dad, and my dad fell in love with him right away. And then he was saying, well, why not sooner? Let's just get the show on the road. So it's like, if you're confident towards a dad or a father figure in a girl's life, then you have him on your team. And that is a way to pursue in a healthy way.
Yeah. I would say if you don't know what you want, you probably can't pursue well.
Yeah.
Like
or if you're just thinking this is going to be good.
If you're testing the waters, if you're dabbling a little bit and like, do I like this girl? Like, then you're probably not going to lead her and pursue her very well.
Right.
And, you know, I think it's worth asking yourself the question, am I ready to date for the man? I think this is
you knew you were
unpopular opinion or unpopular, like we don't say this much, but you know, if you're not ready to pursue, if you're not ready to say, I'm not saying like you have to know you want to marry or if you ask her out on a date.
Right.
But you do need to know, like, what are you doing? What are your intentions? What are you after? Are you after like having a good time and seeing, you know, what you can get from it? Well, that's twisted. And
yeah, it's not going to set you up well.
Yeah. And if you're dating a God-fearing woman, like she's going to shut that down real quick. But if you know, like, man, I'm attracted to you and I want to get to know you, and let's see if this does go somewhere serious. But if not, I'm here to respect you. I'm here to honor you. I'm here to
I think taking the pressure off of both of you.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, let's get to know each other. Let's go on a date.
Yeah, I think a first date
can still make it nice and romantic,
fun.
but lighthearted and chill.
Yeah, the first date is not the interview for "Are you my wife?" The first date is, can we laugh together?
Our first date, though, we got in an Uber. We went to Chewy's, which is like one of our favorite places to still
the date was going well. Before you say what you say, the date was going
great,
well.
But we were at Chewy's and then we got in an Uber and we sit in the back and there's our timer. Last story, and then we'll give handlebars. So we're in the Uber, we're in the back seat, and the Uber driver looks at us and he goes, you guys are a good looking couple. You got kids? And Aaron
this was our first date and we hadn't held hands yet.
Aaron goes, not yet.
I grabbed her hand.
And then he grabbed my hand and I was like, not yet.
I said not yet. And sure enough, it was not yet because now we have
That's
two.
not a handlebar. That's just a story.
It was smooth.
It was smooth.
It was smooth. I held your hand. I said not yet. Then we went to Starbucks.
And now we have Rosie and Shepherd.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, you want to give me a handlebar?
People are watching.
I'm blushing.
Like, handlebar for pursuit. I think my handlebar for pursuit is, I'm going to give you two. Be upfront. Be clear. That's the first one. And the second one is a two-parter. It's lean into God and lean into authority, mentors, leaders. If you don't have one,
get
a
friend. Resounding yes.
Yeah, like lean in. So lean into two places. Lean into the Lord and lean into a mentor. And then what was my first one? Be clear.
Yeah. Mine would be, if really girl or guy, I would say take the pressure off and have fun. And I told someone the other day, she asked me, she was like, how did you know? How did God tell you that Aaron was the one? And I thought, well, he didn't have to, because I just knew that I was in love with you. I knew I was attracted to you. I knew I wanted to be with you for the rest of my life. It wasn't God out of heaven saying, this is the man I picked for you and you have to marry him. We have free will. And so I think in our dating relationship,
I wasn't the one till you chose me.
You weren't. No one, I'm going to say this. No one is the one for you until you choose them.
Oof.
And if you're telling me this is the one and you haven't chosen to stick with them through thick or thin, through sickness and in health, richer for poorer, for better, for worse, then they're not the one for you.
Mic drop.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. No. So that's my handlebar is be lighthearted. But I guess the second one would be choose. Make a choice. I've seen so many people
choose to go on the date or choose to say no.
Yes,
but be clear.
But I've seen so many people wait so many years because they can't make up their dang mind. And you're just like wasting time, you know? And so people are complaining about being old and being single. And I'm like, make a choice. That is not for everyone. I get that there are some people, you know, that are still single and it's not your choice. I get that. Don't hear what I'm not saying. But make a choice and be powerful in your choice.
Be powerful.
And yeah. Those are our handlebars.
That's a great handlebar. Well, handlebar sessions.
It's dinner time. I'm hungry.
It's dinner time. Let's go on a date.
Ooh, we already have a babysitter.
It's true. All right. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.
What's up, guys? My name is Zay. I'm from North Carolina. I'm an active listener of the Handlebar podcast. Two things I love about this podcast is how practical it is, but also how authentic it is. And just being able to marry those two things together and just, you know, hear the Holy Spirit voice through that, I think is an awesome thing. So if you enjoy that episode, go ahead and subscribe here on YouTube. And you can also stream on any podcast platform there is. Continue to check us out.